guess this is somewhat of a follow-up to the first little short I did about personal, wellness in general. But this is going to be my day 3 of, what you would call the 30-day rice bucket challenge. Obviously, this isn't a bucket, more of a container, as you can see. But what this does is works on your biceps a little bit, mainly your forearms and your hand strength. So what I try to do is for about 20 minutes or so, go over a few little techniques that I use to try to as I've started, I don't necessarily know what the, you would refer to these techniques as. I've watched a few clips, but I'm just doing kind of what benefits my arms and, my hand strength as well. So here we go. These are kind of like little plunges, and what they do is it actually works the bicep and the shoulder a little bit, hand strength as well. And then what you do is do a little counterclockwise, and you kind of grab, and that just really works too. You kind of want to do a little isostatic work where you're kind of a little flexing a little bit. And what this does, as opposed to using a dumbbell or the whole bar while you're trying to work forearms, it's a little bit less impact, allows you to do a little bit more, and there's very little recovery, and you still get very rapid results from it. So that's really what I enjoy about this. And it's kind of fun for a little, someone with me, a little touch of the tism. It's a nice little sensory exercise, if you will. So what I kind of try to do is work one hand, one arm, if you will, whatever you want to refer to it as, at a time. Kind of let it get tired out, and then just move on to the next one from there. And what I've kind of noticed is it really does give a lot of, tension, you could say, on the muscle in the arm, to where you can feel the results. I mean, I'm not trying to be that guy. I know it takes 2 weeks for results to show, but it already feels like my little tiny arms are already starting to display a little bit larger. Pardon me. So now what we're going to do is we're going to switch up to the other one. Do some little spears, I guess you could call them. And then you can just go get down in there. Start turning clockwise, counterclockwise. Little inward motion too, to kind of work the forearm, the inner forearm, if that's what it's called. I'm not really too astute with the little different little muscle groups. I guess we'll kind of get into that, because when I'm lacking an area, I very much so like to just go in there and research right away, because I don't want to just be regurgitating what I heard from someone else's, as my opinion. So I kind of like to go in there, see what's going on, formulate my own little opinion from that. Because it's very difficult these days to discern information for some individuals. I mean, you get someone 50 or older nowadays, they see an AI video, they're sharing it to everybody, and they think that's something that occurred. So, as much good as AI has done, at this point, I think it's just a great tool for deception for the individuals that like to use stuff like that to their benefit, because it seems like this day and age, that's really what it's all about. It's kind of deceiving the masses into a narrative. Like, most individuals have never even been around like a Muslim family, for example, yet they're over here like, oh, it's America, I hate Muslims. It's like, dude, how many Muslim families have you even met? Do you think that's a little bit of a propagandized media? Like, sensationalizing something that you're not even really aware of? And then on top of it, if you just got American troops coming into your household, who's not going to have a little distaste for that, I'm not saying, oh, I don't support the troops or anything along those lines. Absolutely do. America first. But what are you sending out these people's children out there to do, What are these wars over? I'm not trying to get all political, I just go on tangents. So, I mean, if anyone's eyes are really open, they see who this war is over, who we're fighting it for. And it's absolutely, utterly wild that people are so brainwashed into thinking that the media is portraying the actual narrative of what's occurring. And we'll just leave it at that and get back to the little rice exercise here. It's actually pretty fun, And the 30-day challenge is nice to be able to keep up with. It's fun, something to I don't know necessarily to look forward to in regards to activity for the day, but it is a nice little goal to have to be able to accomplish by the end of the day. And I prefer to do it towards the evening. So if there is any little soreness, which really doesn't occur, again, this is only day 3, so it could occur. I'm trying not to necessarily overdo it too much, but I really do enjoy this little methodology to be able to, achieve some type of growth, baby steps. I love the gym, definitely trying to get into the gym. I prefer a little home methodology. I'm mainly just looking for like chest and shoulders, and I like to do a little more fasting, maybe get into a week fast here starting on Tuesday. I already kind of am doing intermittent fasting where I just eat once a day and get the results, but I've just kind of gone on and off with that. But I believe I've reached a point of like metabolic flexibility where I could either utilize stored fat reserves as energy and or switch over to carbohydrates. It's not something I necessarily intended to try to be able to get to, but reaching a point of metabolic flexibility does have its advantages. But I'd still kind of not like to really fall off the train. I prefer to eat, if I could possibly, just steak cooked over butter with just a little bit of seasoning on it. Very enjoyable. About a pound ration a day. Right now I'm at just under 6 foot and clocking in at 226. And when I fast, it seems like I'm still retaining my mass and being able to strip the fat. So that's nice. I'd like to stay somewhere above 205 in the long run, but most of the fat I have on me is located in like the stomach and abdominal region. Other than that, it's not too crazy. Like my legs, I've stayed pretty active. I love hiking. I've played golf since I was 5 years old, and just always kind of kept my legs in shape to an extent. But sometimes in life, kind of let things go. You're not necessarily watching what you're eating as much, and then when you kind of take note and recognize that certain things don't necessarily work too well with how your body functions as an individual, you kind of try to limit those and see what's better. Like, I've switched to spring water, and I've been doing that for like 4 years, store-bought spring water. Just seems like it's done a lot. I'll have a little bit of soda with dinner, if you will. I'm trying to kind of cut that out to limit my sugar intake and just eventually, just to an extent, fully eliminate stuff like that if I can. I like to do a little Baja Gold sea salt to try to help remineralize to an extent. I like to start getting those H2 tablets, the ones that Gary Brecka's son came up with, the hydrogen, to put in your water. So that would be a nice little extent. Maybe some type of RHO, little NAD plus. I forget the company that they endorse, but seems like it's a pretty reputable company that puts out a good product. But yeah, this is a little 30-day rice challenge. I mean, I'd recommend 15-20 minutes. I kind of get up there to about 30 because I don't know, get into it and enjoy it to an extent. But yeah, this has been my little rant for now, and more to come. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends about it.